In today's video, we're going to be exploring the Lea Valley Lines. The first section is going up from Liverpool Street to Enfield Town, and the other section is from Edmonton Green to Cheshunt. So it is indeed a 2-in-1 special. So welcome to episode 29 and welcome to day 30 of Runderground. And if it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Matt and I'm running every line and station that features on the London tube map. Right now we are doing the London Overground today. We started from London Liverpool Street, which is the terminus of two main lines. You've got the Great Eastern Mainline as well as the West Anglian Mainline. Today we're aiming to finish today at Enfield Town, which is about 22 kilometres from here. It has been raining earlier on, so it's probably going to get a little bit boggy a bit later on. It is also very loud around here as we have a lot of work that's happening. We go to our first overground station, Bethnal Green, not to be confused with the Bethnal Green on the Central Line. The distance between those two stations are actually quite a fair distance. Now what's interesting about Bethnal Green station in particular is that they did actually used to be served by mainline services, so services on the Great Eastern Mainline, and you can still see the disused platforms. If you're ever travelling along the Great Eastern Mainline, if you look out towards Bethnal Green station, you can see where the former platform used to be. Lovely stuff. Just made it to Cambridge Heath. At least along this bit, the stations are pretty much all along this main road until we get to Hackney, so if we do get lost, well, we shouldn't. Which works out really well. And just for a brief moment, we are running adjacent to Regent's Canal, which is very, very picturesque. We're passing through London Fields in order to get to our next station, London Fields. So we just got to London Fields. Now what is remarkable about this station was that this station was almost closed entirely. It's because in 1981 the station did close for 5 years, and it was because of a fire that did break out here. We recently passed Hackney Downs station. Now for this station fact it's more to do with Hackney Central, however that station did close in 1944 but then it reopened in 1981. The footlink between Hackney Central and Hackney Downs was reinstated in 2015, which I've used quite a lot. It is very, very handy. Another thing about Hackney Downs station in particular is that it's at that point of the overground where it splits off into a Y. So the section that veers off to the right goes up to Chingford. The bit that we're doing is on the left part of it, and it's heading up to Enfield Town and Cheshunt. Who said Chingford again? Rectory Road. STOKE NEWINGTON. Now there is actually a really good music scene that's in STOKE NEWINGTON. Quick start update outside of Stamford Hill. We are 9.61 kilometres in. An hour and 17 minutes has elapsed. We have about 11 kilometres remaining. Passing next to me now is indeed South Tottenham, the station that we have indeed been to before. I should have also noted that at this point here used to be one of the old entrances to get onto the eastbound platform. Seven Sisters. Now, where do I begin to describe Seven Sisters?
One time, she punched me in the face. It was awesome.
If you are familiar with the station, you know that there are only two platforms. However, there did in fact used to be 4 platforms, and it's because there used to be a branch line from here, and it was called the Palace Gates line, and it closed in 1964. It has all been built over now. I kind of spoke about this in the Goblin video regarding Crossrail 2. Should Crossrail 2 open, one of the two routes that they're deciding between is going either via Turnham Green and Alexandra Palace or via Wood Green. Now if it does go via the Wood Green route, that it would follow the former track bed. Interesting. I don't know why, I just do. Here we are, Bruce Grove. Lovely stuff. I've never seen Tottenham Stadium before. It looks huge. I love the architecture of the stadium though. It's really cool. I've got a bit of a dilemma, so I've completely missed a station. Looks like we're going back.
Wait, stop the motherfucking music. You, are you dumb?
I was thinking while I was running, like, I've not seen a station in ages. What's happening? I just checked my watch, and I'm not too far out. I'm about like 500 meters out. I think I was just over halfway to the next station. Well, never mind. White Hart Lane, we've just passed where the old station building was, and just in front of us is the brand new station building. I say brand new, I mean it's been open since about, I think 2017, maybe 2018. White Hart Lane station was in desperate need of an upgrade because of the nearby Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. There were talks of renaming the station to Tottenham Hotspur, but I don't know how far along they've gotten with that. Alright, so now we finally seen that station, so let's move on to our next station, Silver Street. Hopefully I won't miss that one. Silver Street. Passing through Pimm's Park right now, the location of a fantastic park run that's located here. I guess the only thing that's missing really is a can of Pimm's. That would be ideal, but right now it's raining, so it's maybe not Pimm's weather. So the clock that's here used to be where the shopping area is now, as used to be an old town hall. And so with the developments of the shopping centre, they then moved the clock here to preserve it. So we've got Edmonton Green Station, where it branches off yet again. We've got 2 more stations till we get to Enfield Town. Now, I did post a selfie earlier on Twitter, and it was outside of Liverpool Street, and a couple of people shouted to Martin and Simon. A couple of people had asked me to take notice of the bus shelter that's in the area. It's also worth noting at Edmonton Green that it was formerly known as Edmonton, but then it changed its name to Edmonton Green to reflect the shopping centre that's in the area. And if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure that you give it a like down below. Bush Hill Park. Tick. Alright, so next up is our final stop in this section, which is Enfield Town. Am I going the right way? Yeah, I am. Enfield Town, one of 3 northern termini on the Lea Valley Line. But that is it for this section. Don't think about clicking off just yet. So it is day 30 of Runderground. I've just recently set off from Edmonton Green, heading over to Cheshunt. It is looking a little bit wet, in case you can't tell. Yeah, so we're coming up to our first station on the line, which is Southbury. We're going to discuss a few things along the way, as usual. Just popping by Tesco. Do you need anything?
I'm at 7-Eleven. Y'all want some?
So just got to our first station, which is Southbury. Now this station, as well as pretty much all the stations along this line up to Cheshunt, had closed to passengers in 1919, and it continued to be used for freight. They'd reopened in 1960 up to passengers. Now with Southbury station in particular, that station did actually used to be called Churchbury. I don't want to run with my phone. So we're in the vicinity of running around a load of different retail parks. It's weird because it comes in waves where it's really busy and then really quiet. It is still very wet. So a general observation so far, we're about 5.5 k's in, and it's just mostly been running next to main roads the whole time. After running adjacent to the Great Cambridge Way for God knows how many kilometres, we're going to take this footpath along here, and hopefully it should be a bit quieter. My ears are ringing. Lea Valley is incredibly wet. It's very, very wet. So we're here at Theobalds Grove. This station actually got its name from Theobalds Mansion House that was in the vicinity. It has since been destroyed. Anyway, we've got one more station left now, which is Cheshunt, so let's make our way over there, and I hope it's going to get a little bit drier. Probably not. And here we are, been to Cheshunt. In fact, before I talk, I'm already talking. So there used to be an old railway line from Chingford town centre to the River Lea, and it was actually the world's first horse-drawn monorail, and it was also the first railway in Hertfordshire, which I think is pretty interesting. Yeah, I think that's probably the most interesting fact I've come across so far. I think that's really, really interesting. If you want to see the data for this run, check out my Strava link down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time for Underground. See ya!